dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom.
My dear students, today in Standard 10th Geography, we will be learning the topic Physiography and Drainage. In the first part of this topic, we have already learnt about the Physiography of India and Physiography of Brazil. In the Physiography of India, we learnt about the Himalayas, the North Indian plains, the peninsula, coastal plains and island groups. Now in the drainage, we have to talk about the drainage of Brazil and drainage of India. So as far as the drainage of Brazil is concerned, there are three major river basins, and in that the first one is Amazon basin, then the Paraguay-Parana system in the southwest, second one, and then the last São Francisco in the eastern part of highland and other rivers at the coast. So when we talk about the drainage system of Brazil, then we have to talk about all these three river basins, that is Amazon basin, Paraguay-Parana system in the southwest and São Francisco in the eastern part of highland. Now one by one we will learn in detail about all these things, but first of all, this is the map which is given in our textbook, that is figure 3.4 Brazil drainage. So if you people go through this map, then you can easily understand the drainage system of Brazil. So this map showing major rivers of Brazil. Now here on the screen, Amazon basin. Amazon collects its headwaters from the eastern slopes of Andes mountains in the Peru. Here now on the screen in the image you can easily understand this basin, Amazon basin, and here is the Andes mountains. This one, if you go through this map, you can easily understand how these mountains collects its headwaters. Amazon river receives huge discharge. Now whenever there is word huge, then just we are now going for the number, that how huge it is. It is 2 lakh meter cubic per second. Just think about the number. Amazon river receives huge discharge, and that is 2 lakh meter cubic per second. And because of this, Amazon washes off the load supplied to it from the catchment, and consequently sediments are not deposited even at the mouth. Why? Because of the speed of the water or because of this huge discharge. So a dense network of distributaries, which is a characteristic feature of river mouth areas, is by and large absent in the mouth region of Amazon. Again I am repeating, a dense network of distributaries. Here on the screen again you can see the network of the distributaries, which is a characteristic feature of river mouth areas and is by and large absent in the mouth region of Amazon. Instead, we find a series of islands developed along the mouth of Amazon beyond the coastline into the Atlantic Ocean. It will be interesting to note that at the mouth, the width of Amazon channel is 150 kilometer. Now here it is given in our textbook that take into consideration a place which is 150 kilometers away from your home, so that you will get an idea of the width. It will be interesting to note that at the mouth, the width of Amazon channel, ये जो Amazon river की channel है उसकी width at the mouth कितनी है 150 किलोमीटर. जस्ट थिंक अबाउट द डिस्टेंस. अभी आप जिस जगह पे है घर में बैठे हुए, वहां से 150 किलोमीटर कहाँ तक जाता है, उतनी विड्थ इस अमेजॉन बेसिन रिवर की चैनल्स जो है उसकी है. सो दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड द ह्यूजनेस ऑफ दिस रिवर, और यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड बाय दिस द फ्लो, or we can say the discharge of this river. Most of the course of the Amazon river is suitable for navigation. Now the next thing, Paraguay Parana system. These two rivers are located in the southwestern part of Brazil. You can see Paraguay on the screen, and both the rivers from the catchment of River Plata in Argentina. These two rivers and River Uruguay in extreme south of the highlands collect their headwaters from the southern portion of the highland. So you people just go through this image so that you can easily understand. Here Argentina, both the rivers from the catchment of River Plata in Argentina. Now the next and the third, Sao Francisco. It is the third important river of Brazil, and the entire basin of this river is within Brazil. ब्राज़ील के अंदर ही पूरा बेसिन है, किसी बाहर देश के साथ इज़ नॉट कनेक्टेड या फिर वहाँ से बहता हुआ नहीं जाता है. So the entire basin of this river is within Brazil. It occupies the eastern portion of the highlands. The river flows towards the north for a distance of about 1000 kilometer over the plateau, and then takes a sharp eastward turn to enter the coastal strip along the Atlantic Ocean. Here now you can see Atlantic Ocean is here, and the Sao Francisco. The river is navigable for a distance of about 250 kilometer in its downstream reaches. Coastal rivers of Brazil. Brazil has a number of short coastal rivers, and in that the coastal area being densely populated, these rivers attain significance. River Paraniba and River Itapequeru, flowing northwards, meet the North Atlantic Ocean. The rivers that enter South Atlantic Ocean collect their headwaters along the escarpment, and River Puragawaquio enters the Atlantic Ocean near Salvador town. Near Salvador town. Here again in the image you can see. And now we are going to talk about the drainage of India. Rivers in India are largely classified according to their source region into Himalayan and peninsular rivers. So here Himalayan mountain you can see. So it depends on its source region into Himalayan or peninsular rivers. So one by one now we are going to talk in detail about most of the rivers in the Himalayas originate from glaciers, and in summers when glaciers melt, the discharge of water increases in summer, so they flood during monsoons too. So Indian drainage system, Himalayan rivers and peninsular river. This map figure 3.5 is given in our textbook about the drainage of India. So the most of the major rivers in the Himalayas originate from various glaciers, and as it originates from glaciers in summer, when glaciers melt due to high temperature, the discharge of water increases in summer, and because of that they flood during monsoons too. They are perennial rivers, which means lasting or existing for 12 months. Here now in the image you can see the Himalayan drainage easily. The drainage covers two major river systems such as Sindhu river system and Ganga river system. Sindhu and its tributaries, that is Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, drain the western Himalayas, that is they flow through Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Now here Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Indus, that is Sindhu, Satluj, you can see. A major tributary of river Indus, the Satluj, originates near Mansarovar and flows westwards. Punjab plains have been formed, the depositional work of this river and its tributaries. All these things are here to understand with the help of map. A major tributary of river Sindhu, the Satluj, originates near Mansarovar and flows westwards. Now here the river Ganga, you can see here Ganga, here Indus river this way. The river Ganga originates from the Gangotri glacier, and crosses the Himalayas to become an east flowing river. Many tributaries of the Ganga also flow in similar manner. Yamuna, originating at Yamunotri, is a major tributary of Ganga, that we will see in the map. The river Ganga originates from the Gangotri glacier and crosses the Himalayas to become an east flowing river. So here you can see Ganga, in this way it is flowing. Another major tributary of the Ganga flows through the northern part of the greater Himalayas, crosses the Himalayas to enter India. Now when it flows through the Himalayas, it is called Sangpo, and when it crosses the Himalayas, it is called Dihang, and its eastward flow thereafter is called as Brahmaputra. Here you can see Brahmaputra. So from time to time Ganga meets its tributaries and hence its discharge increases. Ganga receives Brahmaputra as its tributary in its lower reaches in Bangladesh. This is Ganga delta. Here you can see the huge volume of water and huge deposition has led the formation of a large delta here. And besides these Himalayan rivers, a number of tributaries from peninsula like Chambal, Ken, Betwa, Shon, Damodar, etc. drain into the Ganga basin. Now the next point, peninsular rivers. The peninsular river systems can further be divided into east flowing and west flowing. In the east flowing meeting the Bay of Bengal, and in the west flowing meeting the Arabian Sea. Here now you can see Narmada, Tapi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, and here the Mahanadi. The Western Ghats form a major water divide in the peninsula. The peninsular rivers being rain fed rivers seldom face the problem of floods, and they are seasonal in nature, which means which are not perennial. The west flowing rivers occupying the area between the Western Ghats and the Arabian coastline are short in length but swift, and this condition of short and swift river system exists in the states of Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra and southern Gujarat. So, on the screen again, if you people go through the map, you can understand this. Further northwards, one comes across the river system flowing into the Gulf of Khambat. These river systems are Tapi, Narmada, Mahi and Sabarmati here. Tapi, Mahi, Sabarmati. Tapi and Narmada, here Narmada, Tapi flows slowly through rift valleys. You can see their flow which flows slowly through rift valleys. Mahi river flows from northeast to southwest direction, this one, from the northeast to southwest direction, whereas river Sabarmati here next to the Mahi. Sabarmati collecting its headwaters from the southern slopes of Arauli ranges flows in somewhat north-south direction. Another noteworthy river forming the catchment of Arabian Sea is river Luni. It originates along the western slopes of Arauli range and flows in somewhat northwest to southeast direction and flows into Gulf of Kutch. Here you can see Luni river, how it flows, this one. And now the next point, rivers meeting the Bay of Bengal. Most of the area of the peninsula is drained by the rivers flowing towards Bay of Bengal. So, the important river systems of this group are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. Now, here you can see Godavari, Mahanadi, Krishna and Kaveri. Mahanadi basin occupies the northeastern part of the peninsula. Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri originate in the eastern slopes of the Western Ghats. Then river Godavari is the second largest river system in India. River Godavari is the second largest river system in India, and in here you can see the catchment area or the Godavari basin. To the south of Godavari is located the basin of river Krishna. Its major tributaries are Bhima and Tungabhadra. So, river Kaveri basin flows through the states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. But before that, you just go through these rivers meeting the Bay of Bengal. It is very important to understand the origin of the river and its meeting point, and map is the thing which always help us to understand these things. River Kaveri basin flows through the states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. It is one of the major rivers of peninsula, and it is a river that has been harnessed for irrigation since a long time. Now, on the screen you can see the map figure 3.4 and figure 3.5. 3.5. In 3.4, Brazil drainage, and figure 3.5, drainage of India. So, you people just go through these maps and understand the drainage system of India and drainage system of Brazil. Please subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications.
So my dear students, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.